Looks like spring cleaning has started early this year with UFC parting ways with 4 more fighters, and we're here to give you the lowdown on who has exited the organization. Let's get right into all the details that we know so far about what prompted UFC to make this decision, as well as other UFC news that's been making the rounds. First, UFC parts ways with 4 more fighters. While official announcements have yet to be made, UFC has made another move towards cleaning out its rosters by parting ways with 4 more fighters. Firstly, we say goodbye to longtime welterweight veteran Michel Prazeres due to USADA's 4-year drug suspension imposed on him. The fighter's requesting release from UFC so he can go back to fighting in Brazil, where the USADA suspension now holds jurisdiction. Prazeres is claiming that this is unfair treatment and that he is being railroaded by the company over fertility treatments. However, Prazeres tested positive for a whole load of substances in 4 separate tests, including clomiphene and the clomiphene metabolites desethylclomiphene, clomiphene M1, and clomiphene M2. In addition, oxandrolone metabolites, as well as exogenous testosterone and/or testosterone precursors were also detected. Second on the list of goodbyes is another welterweight, Gooden. Joining Gooden and Prazeres on the list of free agents are middleweight Maki Pitolo and featherweight Sayles. With the exception of Prazeres, all 3 fighters, Pitolo, Gooden, and Sayles, are likely to find new homes in competing organizations like Bellator MMA, PFL MMA, or the One Championship. Details of why the 3 fighters apart from Prazeres are being let go are still to be disclosed. For now, we'll move on to other UFC news making the rounds. Now, McGregor throws shots at Cejudo. Conor McGregor decided to take a dig at Henry Cejudo on Sunday. McGregor and Cejudo have both put themselves in the UFC history books as simultaneous 2-division champions throughout their storied careers. The Notorious took to social media to fire the first shot at Cejudo, calling him a little fart, which obviously got a response from Cejudo, who posted a split screen of McGregor being choked by Khabib while calling Conor a double chump and referring to himself as double champ. Merab Dvalishvili shares picture of badly injured clavicle, says no surgery required. The UFC bantamweight revealed Saturday that he badly injured his clavicle bone but will not require surgery. MMA Fighting's Damon Martin confirmed the news with Dvalishvili's management, who added that there is no timetable yet for the fighter's recovery. Caitlin Chukijin hits free agency after revealing UFC declined to offer new contract before latest win. UFC opted not to negotiate a new contract with Chukijin after her fight with Maya, which was set to be the last of her pre-existing contract. The fighter detailed her surprise but is still hopeful that she will have a home at UFC. Regardless of the organization choosing not to negotiate a new contract, it doesn't necessarily entail that she's being cut altogether. Jake Paul says he made more than $40 million from his boxing career in 2021. In a series counting down the highest paid YouTubers, Forbes placed Paul as second place. The 24-year-old social influencer raked in $40 million from his boxing career, along with an additional $5 million earned from his videos, endorsements, and other business ventures. However, promoters such as Triller and Showtime, who worked with Paul over the past year, don't release full financial disclosures on athlete payouts. The Problem Child revealed the $40 million figure was actually a little bit lower than his actual income in 2021. Calvin Kattar and Giga Chikadze share photo at hospital after UFC Vegas 46 fight. There was nothing but respect between Calvin Kattar and Giga Chikadze following a 5-round fight at UFC 46's main event. Following a battle that saw the featherweights trade more than 280 combined strikes, Kattar and Chikadze were immediately transported to a local Las Vegas hospital for precautionary reasons, rather than forcing either to stick around for the post-fight press conference. That's where Chikadze snapped a photo alongside Kattar as they shared a moment for their fight of the night duel, which won each man an extra $50,000 in bonus money. Robert Whittaker reveals how letting trash talk get under his skin ruined him in his first fight with Israel Adesanya. Former UFC middleweight champion Robert Whittaker rarely lets anybody get under his skin, but that wasn't the case when he prepared to fight Israel Adesanya the first time in 2019. Back then, Whittaker allowed himself to get drawn into the hype and trash talk coming from his opponent as they prepared to clash at UFC 243. Looking back now, more than 2 years later, Whittaker fully recognizes how he let his disdain for Adesanya get the better of him. Now that his rematch against Adesanya is just a few weeks away at UFC 271, the fighter is confident that he has fixed the errors that cost him so dearly in that first meeting, while also improving his overall skills during a recent 3-fight win streak. Perhaps more important than anything else, Whittaker learned to let go of the unnatural amount of anger he felt towards Adesanya that he says was essentially eating him alive. Collier bloodies Chase. Jake Collier had no problem using a submission to finish Chase Sherman in the UFC Vegas 46 co-main event. Following some huge exchanges on the feet, Collier ended up securing a takedown, which led to some nasty ground and pound that left Sherman bloodied on the canvas. From there, Collier moved to secure a rear naked choke, which forced Sherman to tap out, with the end of the fight coming at just 2 minutes and 26 seconds into the first round. After losing a razor-close split decision in his last outing, Collier had no desire to let the judges get involved on Saturday night. Close set to return Byrd against Jenkins at April 16th UFC event. Drakkar Klose will still be returning to action in April, but against a different opponent. Multiple people that have knowledge of the promotion's plans confirm that UFC is targeting a matchup between Klose and Brandon Jenkins on April 16th. Klose was originally slated to meet Nicholas Mata on the card, however the promotion called an audible. Mata's Octagon debut is now moved to February 19th against Jim Miller, after Mata had previously agreed to face Klose in April as per multiple sources. The showdown with Jenkins will be the first UFC appearance for Klose since being shoved and injured by Jeremy Stevens prior to their scheduled UFC Vegas 24 matchup this past April, and his first fight since a second-round KO loss to Beneil Dariush at UFC 248 in March 2020. Amosov defends Bellator title against Page in London on May 13th. It seems like a huge welterweight title fight's coming to London later this year. Bellator announced Monday that Yaroslav Amosov will defend his 170-pound title against Michael Venom Page in the main event of Bellator London on May 13th at the SSE Arena, Wembley. This will be the first title defense for Amosov, who won the title in June with a unanimous decision win over Douglas Lima. The Ukrainian star, who is currently ranked 7 on the welterweight list in MMA Fighting's global rankings and is undefeated in 26 pro bouts, including a 7-0 mark inside the Bellator cage. The number 15 ranked Page recently avenged a 2019 knockout loss to Lima with a narrow split decision win over the 3-time champion at Bellator 267. This is the sole loss of Page's pro career. Since then, he has rebounded with 6 straight wins, 4 of those by KO or TKO. The fighter will once again be competing in front of a home crowd after defeating Lima in London in October. Dana White talks about UFC's potential return to London 2022. While it appears that the UFC has a date in mind for the promotion's return to the United Kingdom, Dana White isn't ready to officially release this info just yet. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, UFC has not held an event in the UK since March 2019. The card capped off by Jorge Masvidal's vicious knockout of Darren Till that began an incredible year for the BMF champion. As of now, all signs are pointing to the UFC returning to the O2 Arena in London on March 19th, although the promotion has yet to make that announcement. According to White, plans shall be revealed soon. He's confident enough to say that London will be getting an event in 2022. UFC only took a brief hiatus since the pandemic began, but they haven't been able to travel globally like they have in the past. However, White feels that this year they will be able to not only head back to the UK, but other parts of the globe as well. It's yet to be seen whether or not UFC will be cutting more fighters, but at the rate they're going right now, will they even have any fighters left? We're sure the organization has its reasons, apart from drug suspension in Prazeres' case, to be letting go of so many fighters, as well as not negotiating contracts with the ones they have chosen not to cut yet. That's all for now, folks, but we'll be back with more interesting videos. Do stay informed about the sports industry. Keep watching our videos. Tell us what you think the reason for these 4 fighters parting from UFC is by sounding off in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe before leaving. Hey, we're signing off. Hey.